Touch the Lake and welcome to Tibet this week, where we bring you weekly news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's have a look at the headlines. His Holiness the Dalai Lama attends long life prayer ceremony. His Holiness condoles victims of earthquake in Japan. His Holiness sends New Year wishes. Sikyong and Speaker address the commemoration of 550th Parinirvana of Baso, Chokyi, Gyaltsen. Second Tibetan IT Professionals Conference held at Dalai Lama Institute for Higher Education. Office of Tibet, Washington, D.C. organizes Sino-Tibetan Exchange Dinner. Representative Singey attends cultural event organized by Chushi Gangdruk in Sydney. This week, on the first day of the new year, His Holiness the Dalai Lama attended a ceremony of offerings and prayers for his long life requested by the Central Institute of Tibetan Studies, Sarnath, and its alumni, Bonda Chulsum Tibetan Settlement, Shalu Monastery, Chodul Molam Chemo Trust, and Gandhi Monastery staff at the Kala Chakra Teaching Ground in Bodh Gaya, Bihar. On Wednesday this week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama was invited to preside over the Gelugpa University convocation and the award of Geshe Laramba degrees to Geshes who had graduated over the last 4 years. The ceremony was also attended by Gandhi Rinpoche and Changze Choje Rinpoche. More than 300 Geshe who graduated in the last 4 years were presented with degree certificate on the occasion by Gandhi Rinpoche. In 1970, a Gelugpa examination board was established comprising abbots and examination officers who laid out procedures and rules. Since then, more than 1,000 Geshes have graduated. Many of them are serving the Dharma in different parts of the world. On Tuesday this week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has written to Fumio Kishida, Prime Minister of Japan, to express his sadness about the earthquake in Japan on the first day of the new year, which resulted in numerous fatalities and casualties as well as destruction of properties and infrastructures. His Holiness offered his prayers and condolences to families and others affected by this calamity from Bodh Gaya, the sacred place in India where Buddha attained enlightenment. His Holiness, together with members of Sangha and people currently on pilgrimage to the holy place, recited Heart Sutra for the victims of disaster in Japan. On the occasion of the New Year, His Holiness the Dalai Lama extended his warm greetings to everyone with a written note. In the letter, His Holiness have said, despite many challenges that we are facing today, he feels optimistic that with a growing appreciation of how interconnected we all are in the oneness of humanity, we can all work to lead more meaningful lives and create a better world. Furthermore, His Holiness emphasized that we must try to cultivate compassion and inner peace regardless of our nationality or religion. We can contribute to well-being and happiness of all mankind. If the last century was the century of violence, it is our responsibility to make this century the century of dialogue. Sikyong Pimpat Sring attended the commemoration of the 550th Parinirvana of first Taksa Rinpoche, Baso Chokyi Gyaltsen, the 6th Gandhi throne holder and younger brother of Tsongkhapa Lobsang Thakpa's disciple, Ketubje Gelek Pelsang, at the International Convention Center in Bodh Gaya on 29 December 2023. The event was also attended by Sagyakongma Teaching Rinpoche as chief guest, along with Gandhi Rinpoche, Changze Choje Rinpoche, Kundeling Taksa Rinpoche, Chonang Gyaltsab Rinpoche, and other venerable lamas and kempos. Speaker Khenpo Sunam Tempel, Deputy Speaker Doma Sring Tekang, Security Kalun Doma Gary, Kasur Jezimpema, Standing Committee members of the Tibetan Parliament in exile, and dignitaries of the Government of India, including Srimati Rinchen Lamo, a member of the National Commission for Minorities, and Sri Ravi Thakur, a member of the Legislative Assembly from Himachal Pradesh, attended the commemoration. During the occasion, Sikyong of the Central Tibetan Administration delivered a speech to pay his respect to Baso Chokyi Gyaltsen while commending the current 13th Kundeling Rinpoche, Jizin Tenzin Chokyi Gyaltsen Pel Sangbo for his immense contributions to the preservation and promotion of Tibetan Buddhism amidst the ongoing challenges to it. On Wednesday this week, the second Tibetan IT Professional Conference was held at Dalai Lama Institute for Higher Education in Bengaluru from 3rd to 4th January. The conference concentrated on job recruitment and skill development for new Tibetan IT graduates seeking opportunities. Sikyong was the chief guest for the event, where he talked about how important it is for new Tibetan IT professionals to grow and take opportunities in this ever-evolving world of tech. Furthermore, Sikyong talked about various steps taken by the Central Tibetan Administration in digitalizing number of data in the administration. The conference aims to meet talented individuals with job openings in Central Tibetan Administration and the Tibetan community while providing opportunities for skill enhancement, knowledge enrichment, and networking to empower attendees in excelling in the IT field, particularly within the Tibetan community. The Sino-Tibetan Exchange Dinner was organized jointly by the Office of Tibet, Washington, D.C. and IPK Media on 29 December 2023, aiming to improve ties between Tibetan and Chinese communities and to spread awareness of Tibetan freedom movement among Chinese people. Representative Dr. Namgyal Chudup and Chinese liaison officer Tsuldum Gyaltsen stressed on the importance of awareness among Chinese people of the current critical situation inside Tibet and appealed for the Chinese friends to inform the Chinese public of the reality of Tibet through their writings. The exchange dinner was attended by Representative Dr. Namgyal Chudup, former Kalun Tiwa Tenzin Namgyal Thedong, President of International Campaign for Tibet Tenche Gyatso, and Monitoring Unit Head Pujung Tsering. Other guests include famed Chinese writer Su Xiaokong, IPK Media Head Wang Requen, Gao Baoshen, Sha Yilen, among old and new Chinese friends. Representative Kama Singey attended the opening day program of the two-day cultural event organized by Australia-based Chushi Gangdruk from 29th to 30 December 2023 in Sydney as the chief guest. In his address, the representative spoke about the necessity for Tibetan people to move forward as per the vision of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and maintain unity among Tibetan community during a critical time in the Tibetan political movement. He stressed the need for collective cooperation in strengthening the foundations of the Central Tibetan Administration until the just Tibetan struggle is resolved. That is all the news for this week's edition of Tibet This Week. Thank you for watching Tibettv.